Good afternoon, Pooja. How are you?
Yes, I'm good, sir. And you?
I'm absolutely fine. Thank you for asking. Can you tell us something about yourself?
Yes, my name is Pooja Kolpik. I've completed my BCS and after that I've joined Cognizant organization. I'm working in this organization since 1.10 years, 1 year, 10 months. And I'm working on telecom domain and my work roles and responsibilities are test scenario identification, requirement analysis, test case design, test case review, prepare traceability metrics, and defect logging and reporting, and tracking the defect till closure.
Mhm. Okay, great.
That's all.
Right. So, on what basis do you identify the test scenario? Let's say we have given you some requirement. Now you need to
Mm.
identify the test scenarios. So, on what basis and on what parameters you will identify the test scenarios?
I've used the techniques using BVA ECP, boundary value analysis.
Mhm. Okay. So that techniques you will be using to derive the test data for the test cases, right? For example, there is a username field, and in that you have to test with characters maybe from 1 to 10. Then you will be using boundary value analysis over there, or maybe you will be using equivalence partitioning as you are telling. But let's say if
Yes.
any raw requirement has been given to you, so how will you try to identify test scenarios from them?
For example, login credentials.
Hmm.
I will include both the positive and negative scenarios,
Hmm.
uh, like correct user details, user ID, password.
Hmm. Okay. Okay.
Uh,
So, sorry to interrupt. So let's say if this question is asked to you in a real-time interview, right? So
mm,
there are two aspects to this question, right? If I'm asking you that you need to tell the test scenarios, then you will come up with the test scenarios like which are the positive test scenarios. For example, you will be testing this username, you will be testing this password field like that. But
yeah.
if someone is asking you identify the test scenarios, so you will be identifying the test scenarios based on the various types of testing are there, right? GUI is there, or you can also identify based on the images, whether those are there or not, whether UI UX has been properly displayed over there or not. Then
Mm,
the secondary aspect is you can also identify the test scenarios on the non-functional type, right? For example, if you are trying to test with multiple users, right? Then there will be one test scenario for performance testing, one test scenario would be for security testing, right? Then within the test scenarios, there will be multiple test cases available, right?
okay.
Okay. So, okay, now as you were mentioning about test scenarios, so let me share my screen. Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yes, it's possible.
Okay. Now this is the application that has been given to you for testing. Okay. Now you have to come up with the test scenarios for testing this application.
Yes.
Hmm.
First of all, I'll log in, check with the credentials.
Hmm.
Once login, the page should be displayed with the um, name.
Hmm.
First, I will check the usability testing, look and feel of the application,
Hmm.
and then I will check the tabs,
Hmm.
different tabs present here, get key. I will click and check each of the tab is working or not. And
Right.
under that, subcategories are there or not,
Hmm.
and logo is displayed or not
Correct.
properly. I will check each and every tab present on this page, the images
Okay. Great.
and all the things
Hmm.
present on this
Okay.
page.
Okay. So, can you tell me which are the other things that you will be testing?
All the tabs and this username password field
Hmm.
is there. I
Okay.
will enter correct username, correct password, and negative scenarios. I will enter wrong username, correct password, or both wrong username, password, both wrong, both correct.
Mm-hmm.
Username correct, password wrong, password correct, username wrong,
Mm-hmm.
and check the behavior of the app login button. I will check this use OTP while clicking on that, if that is working or not. Behavior of these tabs, each and every tabs, text box, button.
So this is good. Apart from these test scenarios, you can also test the name over here that is being displayed properly or not, right? Then, then forgot password link is there, right? Then you can also test all the links that are available on this page. The
Yes,
footer is
links.
being displayed.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, all the links and this description, whether any spelling mistake is there or not, all
Correct.
the things.
Correct. Yeah. Then the UI UX is there. Then if you click on directly click on use OTP, so you can see the
This error should be displayed. Yes.
these kind of validation messages. So these kind of negative test cases also you have to perform so that you will come
Yes.
to know whether the validation messages are correctly displayed or not.
Yes. Right.
Then you can take the same URL and you can try to open it in the mobile, maybe Android or iOS.
Yes.
If you want to receive that call, that is fine. We can pause the recording.
It's company call.
Okay, no worries. So, so these are the various test scenarios that you can cover for testing this particular page. Then we were discussing about mobile testing. So you can open this particular link in mobile phone, Android, iOS, tablet, and then you can test accordingly. Then you can also perform testing with multiple users. For example, in the requirement or in the user story, it has been mentioned that this particular page can handle 1000 users, for example, at a time. So you can test for load test. You can perform load testing for 1000 users. You can perform stress testing beyond 1000 users, right? Then you can perform compatibility testing, concurrent testing, right? Then database testing, whether all the data is going into the database or not properly for each and every user, right? So all those flags are being set properly or not. You can also perform API testing if you have the relevant APIs for this page. So you can perform that as well.
Yes.
Then you can open this URL in some other browser in PC only, but in other browser, let's say Firefox or Chrome, and then you can check whether it is working fine or not. The UI UX is properly displayed. In different browser versions, you can check. In incognito mode, you can check, right? So cross browser testing you can perform.
Cross browser. Yes.
Okay. Now you were mentioning that you are working on some telecom domain based application, right? Now,
Yes.
now what are the test scenarios that you are actually testing when you are given any telecom based application? So over here, you don't need to reveal about your projects, right? But I'm asking you a very generic question. Let's say if any telecom based application or telecom based software is given to you and you are participating in some bugathon, right? So what kind of test scenarios, what kind of testing you will perform over there? So can you tell me high level test scenarios for them?
Yes. First of all, login credits, login scenarios. And after that, we'll check once we log in this application, a customized CRM, we will check the dashboard and we'll check over their input domain testing and behavior testing of each and every tab and all the credentials over there. I mean, address, name of the customer, all the customer details tab, complaints tab, settings tab.
Okay. What else?
And compatibility testing, all the input domain behavior testing. If there are calculations available, we will check with the calculation testing over there.
Okay.
That's
Fine. So that would be your test cases. Okay. Now, consider a Google Drive kind of an application, right? You have got a Google Drive kind of an application in which you are able to upload the various kinds of files You are able to upload various kinds of folders, images, videos, right? Now, what happened is, let's say yesterday was Friday, right? So yesterday it was working fine. You were able to upload files and all kind of artifacts over there. Today, on Saturday, in the same Google Drive kind of application, nothing is getting uploaded. So how will you debug this scenario?
Today it's not working.
Yeah,
I
yesterday
will
it was working.
firstly
Yeah.
restart. I will reinstall the application and check
Okay, but it's a
and check
Google
it
Drive. Yeah, it's a Google Drive kind of an application. So it's a web-based application.
web-based application.
Yes, yes.
I will check by clearing the cache and troubleshooting steps and
Yeah. So
check
what kind of troubleshooting? Clearing cache is a good thing that you highlighted.
clearing
And
cache
what? Yeah.
and I'll check if that application is in the running state or not. If it's not in running state, I'll run that application, rerun that.
Okay. Running, you means whether it is up and running or not, like that.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So application is up and running. No issues with that.
What are the things I'll check? I'm not aware.
Okay, no worries. See, this is a mock interview. Even if you are not able to answer this kind of question, so we will provide the answer for your question, right? So that if such kind of questions are asked to you in a real-time interview, then you are able to answer, right? So over here, see, it's a Google Drive kind of an application, right? So the very first thing that you have to come up is what is the size of that Google Drive, right? Or the path. For example, the max number of files or the range of files which you can upload, the size of files which you can upload is 15 GB. So whether that size has got reached or not, if it has reached that limit, then it won't allow you to upload, right? This is one of the aspects, one of the test scenario. This is how you will start debugging it, troubleshooting it, right? Okay, you have found a bug that it is not working. It's a regression issue. It was working yesterday, it's not working today. So it's a regression issue. Now you have to debug it. So one is about the size aspect. Okay. Then you have to test what kind of file is not being getting uploaded. Is it some particular file, for example, text file or spreadsheet or Excel file, doc file, video file, so zip file. So these all kinds of files you have to test one by one. So you have to come to the conclusion whether some particular file, some extension of file is not getting uploaded, or is it all kinds of files are not getting uploaded, right? So that is how you will debug. Okay, now let's say if there are two possibilities over here. If all types of files are not getting uploaded, okay, then obviously it is a critical defect, right? If one type of file is not getting uploaded, then again you will see what exactly is the extension. For example, let's consider a case of Excel file. It might happen XLS file might get uploaded, but XLSX is not getting uploaded. Okay, so again, there are multiple versions over there, right? Similarly, you can also troubleshoot with respect to Word document. For example, DOC kind of doc file is getting uploaded, but DOCX is not getting uploaded, right? So this is how you will troubleshoot. Okay. Last but not the least, you can also test from mobile. It might happen, and you can also test with other browser. It might happen in some particular browser, it is not working, right? It might also happen that in web it is not working, from mobile it is working, right? Then uh, then clearing the cache was the very good thing. That is also one of the good test scenario that you can come up with, right? So this is how you will explain in an interview. Is it clear now?
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Now let's say you have got uh, a user story to test. Okay. And there is one more team member with you who is a part of QA team. Now he or she has written the test cases. He or she has come up with few of the test cases. Maybe in the test management tool you are writing, or in the Excel file they have documented. Now you need to review these test cases, right? So how will you review the test cases? What are the different parameters that you will consider while reviewing test cases?
Yes. I'm not getting the question.
Okay. Okay. Now let's say you are a senior member in your team. Okay, there are two team members. Considering you, counting you, there are two team members in your QA team. Okay, one of your junior team member has written the test case. Now you need to review the test cases. So which are the different parameters that you will consider while reviewing the test cases? How you will review the test case? For example, you need to review, like you need to check, you need to validate whether the test cases are written properly or not. So which are the different factors that you will consider for reviewing the test cases?
So based upon the user stories, I'll check one by one.
Okay.
I'll cross check with the user stories.
Okay. You mean to say with the acceptance
As per
criteria? Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
as per user stories, I will check one by one.
Mm.
All the steps are covered or not.
Mm. Okay. Then, okay, this is one of the parameter. Then which is the
Yes.
other parameter that you will consider? Hmm.
Based upon the test scenario, I will review the.
Yeah. Okay. So you mean to say there will be a list of test scenarios that are already documented with you, and now you want to review
Yes.
the test cases. Okay,
Yes.
fine.
Yes. Because based upon the test scenario, we write the test case. Test case. We design the test cases.
Mhm.
So based upon, we will refer the test scenario and cross check.
Okay. Then,
That's. We
mhm.
just want to review, right?
Yes, review. Okay. So over here in reviewing, you could add that point that you had mentioned earlier, like equivalence partitioning, boundary value analysis, whether the test data has been written as per those testing techniques or not, right? Then the variety of test data has been written, whether all permutation and combination to test a particular field or a button or, a text box has been covered. So end-to-end functionality test cases has been written. For example, there are 10 points in the acceptance criteria. So are your test cases covering all those 10 points in the positive testing as well as in negative testing, right? Then you can also cover whether you can also review whether the non-functional test cases has been added or not. Sometimes it might happen. The person who has written the user story might have, missed to write the non-functional requirement, right? But if it is documented in your test case, then somehow via a bug or via a discussion, you will come to know, you will be able to conclude what would be the performance of that screen or that functionality, right? So non-functional test cases has been written over there or not, right? Then you can also verify, um, okay, so test cases, okay, so whether all the test cases have unique test case ID or not, right?
Yes. Yes.
So these are all the things that you need to review while while reviewing the test cases.
Yes. And priority as well.
Yes, severity, priority, then priority again, you should also check that if he has mentioned any test case as a high test case, it should be high only. It should not happen that any low test case has been mentioned as high and vice versa,
Hi.
right?
Yes. Right.
So that is also there. Okay. Now, what is the difference between sanity testing and smoke testing?
Sanity testing is done on the initial build when we receive from the developer,
Mm,
and there we check the core and basic functionality of the application. Then in smoke testing, if any defects found in sanity testing, then to troubleshoot that we do smoke testing. There also we do the troubleshooting if errors are there in sanity.
mm,
Troubleshooting plus core and basic functionality,
mhm,
advanced sanity. Extra checks we do in smoke testing.
mhm. Okay. Do you perform testing based on role-based access control?
No.
No.
Role based?
Access control, RBAC. Okay, so
No.
do you know what is role-based access control?
No, I'm not aware.
Okay, so consider there is a simple, web application or a software, and there are multiple types of roles created in that. For example, one is the super admin, right? Who is having,
Mm.
who will be able to navigate through all the screens, who will be able to navigate through all the functionality, who will be able to use all the features in the application. Then there is a service admin who will be restricted to some particular external features only, right? Then there is internal user kind of a role who will be able to, uh, perform testing on some screens that are consisting of related to sales and purchase management, marketing, and all those things, right? Then there is a normal user who will again have some access to some uh, two or three screens only, right? So do you perform this kind of role-based access control testing?
No,
O-
not performed.
Okay, let's say if such kind of application has come to you for testing, right? So uh, what would be your test strategy? How will you test this kind of application?
There, first of all, security testing is done.
Okay, security testing you will perform.
Security testing,
Right. So you are going to test execution
access
level.
control,
Yeah, access
access
level.
control test that the
Okay.
authorized user is able to access.
Mm-hmm.
Means as per scheduled, only they can access the
Mm-hmm.
application.
Yes, yes.
Access control. Authorization, valid user is able to access.
Mm-hmm.
These two types of testing is done in that.
Okay. See, whenever you get this kind of application for testing, right, the very first thing is you have to take some kind of, Excel file or Word document, and you have to create one table.
Mm.
That table will consist of, cross metrics. Like these are the types of users and these are the screens for which they will be having access to.
Access, yes.
So first of that is your test strategy. We can directly go for test execution, but again, it might happen that we might miss some screen testing for some particular user. So it is better to perform one end-to-end to create one matrix first, right?
Matrix.
So this kind of matrix will actually help us to, track and trace each and every screen validation, right? So this
Yes.
kind of matrix we have to create first. Second thing is, first go for API testing. Okay, don't go for UI testing in this case. Okay, in API testing, you can get the API of that particular screen, and you can record those APIs once for all the applications for entire application. Then you can run with various credentials of the different users, right? For example, you can run with system admin. So he or she's system admin role user is able to access all the screens of the application. So for every API request, he will receive 200 OK as a response. But
Mm.
if you change the system admin access user credentials to normal admin user, so he will start getting 401 unauthorized because he's
Unauthorized.
allowed to access. So that is your valid pass condition, right? So this is how you can test via API. Okay. Then you can go for the UI testing approach. Okay. So this is how you will perform testing. Okay. Uh, have you been involved in test estimation? And if yes, so how will you perform? How will you do test estimation?
Test estimation, I was not a part of it.
Mhm. Okay. So see,
TLO.
okay. So as you are having 2 years of experience, so this question might be asked to you in a real-time interview. So not on the behalf of team, but yes, let's say if I assign some user story to you for testing, or if I assign some functionality to you for testing, then I'll ask you how much time would you take to test it, right? So you will tell me, okay, I'll take 2 days, I'll take 4 days. So how will you estimate that thing? So you might estimate based on the complexity of the application.
Complexity,
Yeah,
knowledge, and effort.
efforts. Then you might estimate based on the number of test cases that are available. You might estimate based on the compatibility. For example, this feature was already present in the last version, which is already live. So now you need more time to test because you will be testing migration. For example, the functionality should be working fine, whether the user has been migrated from old version to new version, right? So on these all factors, on these all points, you can actually tell the test estimation, right?
Test estimation.
So in a real-time interview, don't tell that you haven't done test estimation, but you can tell these are all the factors that you are considering the test estimation, right? It is not possible that every story can be tested in a single day. It is also not possible that every user story can be tested in 1 month, right? So it depends on the complexity of the feature, complexity of the functionality that you have to answer. Okay. Which is the test management tool that you are using?
HPLM.
Okay. Do you know anything about Jira?
Yes, I know.
Okay. So
Jira.
how will you create a defect in Jira?
I have not used Jira, but I know slightly.
Mhm.
There is a defect tab. By clicking on that, we get the new window. On new window, we'll click, and the window appears. And we'll attach the relevant screenshots and description and the defect detected date, time, detected by, on. We'll mention all the details and attach the screenshot, and we'll log a defect on Jira.
Okay. So in the Jira also you will have bug life cycle. You can have various states over there like new, assigned, open. Then if it's an open, there are two possibilities, whether it's a duplicate bug or it is a deferred bug, right? So then after it, if it is getting fixed, then it might you might reopen it as well, okay, while retesting it, or you will close it after verification. And again in Jira also there are various fields like defect description is there, then defect summary is there, then in which sprint that defect will be fixed. That is very important field, right? What is the severity? What is the priority of the defect?
Priority of the
Then impacted areas of the defect. It is there. It is not entered. The details are not entered by you, but it is entered by the developer after fixing it, right? Then
yes.
root cause analysis, right? What was the reason that that defect got created or that got introduced, right? So those things you will have to cover. Okay. Okay, Pooja, I am done with the interview. Do you have any questions for me?
Can you put more scenario-based questions so that I'm aware about the scenario-based questions?
Okay, okay. You want me to ask more scenario-based questions?
You can means mention in the recorded video as well, description as well.
Okay, okay, no worries. So actually what we are doing is we are covering this success story from various people who have got a job in testing field in various companies, right? So they are also sharing questions with me. Also, we are also covering the scenario-based questions based on different companies that are hiring QA people, right? So definitely we'll continue to add more and more scenario-based questions.
Yes, that will be great.
Yeah.
Because mostly they ask scenario-based questions.
Yeah.
Theory, everyone can answer.
Right,
That's,
right, true. Okay. So thank you so much, Pooja, for coming on our channel and giving the mock interview. Yeah, and wish you all the best for your career.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.